There comes a moment on every spiritual path when life suddenly becomes quieter than you ever expected. People who once filled your days grow distant. Plans that felt certain simply dissolve without warning. Conversations that once flowed turn into silence. Even your own thoughts begin losing their weight, their intensity, their urgency. It feels as if the entire world has paused around you, as if something is waiting, as if something is approaching, as if life itself is holding its breath. And if you have reached this moment, you know exactly what it feels like. It is not just silence. It is a silence that feels intentional. It is not loneliness. It is solitude with a strange, sacred purpose. It is not emptiness. It is space being carved out from within you. Most people fear this silence. Most try to run from it. Most try to fill it with noise, distractions, or anything that can keep them from hearing the truth rising inside. But not you. You feel something deeper moving through this stillness. You feel something ancient, something sacred, something that does not come from the outside world, but from your inner world. You feel the soul rearranging itself. You feel the universe repositioning you quietly, gently, without explanation. This silence is not a void. It is preparation. It is the soft ground where spiritual breakthroughs are born. Swami Radha taught that every seeker must pass through the silent corridor of awakening, a phase where life withdraws its noise, so the soul can hear its own voice again. And this moment is not punishment. It is initiation. Your silence right now is not a sign that you have been abandoned. It is a sign that you are finally ready. Ready to hear what you could not hear before. Ready to see what you once resisted. Ready to release what you were still clinging to. Ready to become who you were always meant to be. The truth is simple. Your life grows silent because you are on the edge of a spiritual breakthrough. Not a small change. Not a moment of inspiration. Not a temporary shift. A breakthrough. The kind that alters your inner landscape, shifts your destiny, and awakens the deepest parts of your being. But before that transformation arrives, everything around you begins to quiet itself. Your routines, your relationships, your desires, your thoughts, your ambitions, your emotions. Things that once felt urgent suddenly lose their grip. People who once took up your mental space drift to the edges. Your energy becomes selective without you trying. You feel withdrawn from conversations that once entertained you. You feel detached from cycles you once felt obligated to participate in. This is not depression. This is not numbness. This is not a loss of motivation. This is spiritual conservation. Your soul is gathering energy. Your spirit is repositioning itself. Your inner voice is preparing to lead. You are being emptied so something new can fill you. And the silence is the first sign. It arrives quietly, like dawn sliding across a dark horizon. At first you barely notice it. You simply realize you don't talk as much, don't respond as quickly, don't feel the same pull toward old patterns. Then the silence deepens. You begin hearing things you previously ignored. Subtle truths, intuitive nudges, unexplained clarity. And then it deepens even more. You stop feeling the need to explain yourself. You stop forcing connections. You stop chasing what no longer reaches back. You stop clinging to what your soul has already outgrown. You stop uprooting your peace for people who offer you none. This silence is your awakening, sharpening itself. It is your intuition, returning to the center of your being. It is your spirit calling you inward, because the next step of your path cannot be found outside of you. And this is where the transformation begins. Not when everything changes around you, but when everything quiets within you. The second reason your life grows silent is because the universe is removing interference. There are certain revelations that can only be seen when the noise has died down. There are certain truths that can only be heard when distractions have faded. There are certain shifts that can only unfold when your energy is no longer entangled with the wrong people or the wrong path. Silence is not the absence of sound. It is the absence of distortion. And right now, the universe is clearing out everything that distorts your intuition. You may notice this in ways that feel uncomfortable. People stop reaching out. Plans fall through. Jobs no longer feel aligned. Relationships feel strained. Your environment feels foreign. You feel disconnected from your old self. Nothing is wrong. Everything is aligning. This is the universe saying, be still. Something is coming. Something meant only for you. And you must be clear enough to recognize it. This silence is not there to weaken you. It is there to sharpen you. It is polishing your inner listening. It is restoring your spiritual sight. It is strengthening your soul's ability to trust itself above anything else. And as the silence deepens, something else begins. Your inner voice grows louder. The third reason your life goes silent before a spiritual breakthrough is because your intuition is awakening at a higher level than ever before. You begin sensing things before they happen. You feel direction without logical proof. You feel truth without explanation. You feel misalignment instantly. You feel resonance almost physically. You begin seeing people clearly. Their intentions, their wounds, their patterns, their boundaries. You begin understanding situations not with your mind, but with your awareness. You begin choosing peace without guilt. You begin trusting your inner knowing without needing confirmation. Your spirit becomes precise. And with this precision, you start feeling something profound. Your old identity dissolving. The version of you that survived through noise is no longer needed. The version of you that depended on validation is falling away. The version of you that ignored intuition cannot make this journey. The version of you that rushed, chased, forced, bent, or broke yourself is being retired. This silence is shedding you of your past self. This is why life may feel confusing, because you are no longer the person who fit into the old world you once built. And yet, you are not fully the new version of yourself either. You are in the in-between, the sacred womb of rebirth. Nothing grows in noise. Seeds break open in silence. Caterpillars transform in silence. Wounds heal in silence. Breakthroughs are born in silence. And so are you. The fourth reason your life goes silent before transformation is because the universe is preparing you to receive clarity. Clarity that you could not have handled before. Not because you were weak, but because you were overstimulated by life, by emotion, by expectations, by people, by distractions. Clarity needs space. Clarity needs openness. Clarity needs surrendered energy, and silence creates all three. This is why your desires have been shifting. What you once wanted no longer feels like truth. What you once chased no longer feels aligned. What you once tolerated now feels impossible. The silence reveals what is real. The silence reshapes what you value. The silence refines your intentions. And in this refinement, your soul finds its true path again. You begin manifesting differently. You start choosing differently. You begin moving differently. You start receiving differently. Because silence has purified your energy. And the fifth reason your life goes silent, the most profound of all, is because a breakthrough is already on its way. Spiritual breakthroughs do not arrive in noise. They arrive in stillness. They arrive in surrender. They arrive when you are no longer pushing, begging, forcing, or running. They arrive when your spirit has softened enough to hear guidance. They arrive when your life has slowed enough to receive direction. They arrive when your energy has cleared enough to recognize what is meant for you. Silence is not the moment before everything collapses. It is the moment before everything blooms. You are on the edge of something extraordinary. Your soul knows it. Your intuition feels it. Your energy senses it. Your external life may seem paused, but your internal life is accelerating. Your spirit is rearranging itself for a new chapter. Your destiny is beginning to unfold behind the scenes. Right now, you are being positioned. You are being refined. You are being aligned. You are being prepared. This silence is your sacred chrysalis. This stillness is your spiritual incubation. This pause is your divine resetting. Something powerful is approaching you. Not by accident, not by coincidence, not by force. You are moving toward a moment that will make sense of everything you've had to release. And when your breakthrough arrives, the world around you will begin to move again. Not in chaos, but in harmony. Not in confusion, but in clarity. Not in noise, but in flow. Your silence is not the end. It is the sacred beginning. There comes a point in every seeker's life where you stop asking, "Why is everything so quiet?" And you begin whispering, "What is this silence trying to show me?" This shift is subtle, but sacred. It marks the moment you stop resisting the stillness and begin listening to it. Because silence is not empty. Silence is full of guidance, full of insight, full of messages your inner voice has waited years to deliver. When everything around you becomes silent, the universe is not withdrawing from you. It is drawing you inward. And inward is where the breakthrough truly begins. Because your breakthrough is not an external event. It is an internal unveiling. It is the moment when your spirit steps forward fully, without the filters of fear. It is the moment when your intuition becomes louder than your conditioning. It is the moment when your awareness expands beyond the boundaries of your old self. But before this expansion, you must pass through stillness, through the quiet chamber of transformation, the very space your soul is sitting in right now. This silence is the bridge between who you've been and who you are becoming. It is the final pause, the final inhale, before the universe exhales into your destiny. A spiritual breakthrough does not announce itself. It whispers. It enters softly, like light entering a dark room where no one expected dawn. And this dawn often begins with the uncomfortable realization that certain chapters of your life cannot come with you. This is the sixth reason your life goes silent before a breakthrough. Your soul is disconnecting from energies and identities that have completed their purpose. Not everyone who walked with you is meant to walk forward with you. Not every dream you once held is meant to be carried into your next season. Not every version of you that helped you survive is meant to follow you into your rebirth. Life becomes silent when the universe is pruning your path. Old conversations end. Old cycles dissolve. Old patterns lose their pull. Old obligations fade. Old emotional addictions loosen their grip. It may feel like loss, but it's not. It's liberation. It's the release before the rise. Swami Radha taught, clinging is the enemy of awakening. Release is the beginning of freedom. Your silence is proof that your soul has begun releasing. Not violently, not abruptly, gently, naturally, effortlessly. This is why you no longer feel the need to argue, prove, justify, or explain yourself. Your spirit has grown beyond the need for validation. Your truth has deepened beyond the need to be understood. Silence becomes your boundary. Silence becomes your clarity. Silence becomes your teacher. And then something extraordinary happens. You begin feeling guided from within, without needing external confirmation. This is the seventh reason life grows silent. The universe is shifting you from external guidance to internal guidance. All your life, you have been conditioned to listen to the world, its expectations, its fears, its shoulds, its noise. But an awakening requires that you learn to hear something deeper, something wiser, something infinitely more attuned to your path, your inner voice. Not the voice shaped by past wounds, not the voice shaped by other people's plans, not the voice shaped by fear, scarcity, or doubt. The inner voice that belongs only to you, the one that speaks from the soul, the one you were taught to ignore, the one you abandoned to fit into places you were never meant to stay, the one that whispered your truth long before you were ready to follow it. This is why silence is sacred. It removes every competing sound until you are left with only one voice, your own. And when your inner voice becomes the loudest voice in your life, your entire reality begins to shift. You begin recognizing the difference between your intuition and your fear. You begin recognizing the subtle pull toward what is meant for you. You begin recognizing the quiet discomfort of what is misaligned. You begin recognizing the people who drain your spirit without saying a word. You begin recognizing the invitations life sends you through synchronicities, nudges, and inner knowing. This awareness is the embryo of your breakthrough. It is the beginning of spiritual sight, and spiritual sight is always born in silence. The eighth reason your life grows silent is because the universe is slowing your energy down so you can accelerate forward later. This sounds like a contradiction, but it is one of the greatest truths of awakening. Your next chapter requires a version of you that is rested, centered, aware, aligned, and spiritually attuned. Your destiny cannot be met with exhaustion. Your breakthrough cannot be entered with scattered energy. Your transformation cannot be embodied from depletion. So life slows you down, not to punish you, but to restore you. Your soul is gathering strength. Your nervous system is recalibrating. Your heart is healing. Your energy is resetting. Your intuition is awakening. Your purpose is aligning. This stillness is spiritual medicine, and the universe will keep you in this sacred pause for as long as necessary until you are strong enough to receive what you once thought you were not worthy of. The ninth reason life becomes silent is because the universe is preparing to reveal truth. Truth about yourself, truth about your relationships, truth about your desires, truth about your purpose. Truth is not loud. Truth is not dramatic. Truth is not chaotic. Truth is a whisper. It comes quietly. It comes gently. It comes when the mind is soft and the heart is open. And silence creates this softness. When the noise fades, realizations surface about who you really are, about what you truly want, about where you no longer belong, about where you are being called next. You may notice truth coming through dreams, intuition, sudden clarity, emotional releases, unexpected realizations, or the simple sense of "I can't pretend anymore." This clarity is a gift. It is the compass for your next life chapter. Truth guides breakthroughs, and silence guides truth. The 10th reason your life grows silent is because the universe is calling you into surrender. Not the surrender of defeat, but the surrender of trust. There is a moment in every spiritual journey when the soul must release its tight grip on outcomes, when the ego must loosen its need for control. When you stop trying to force life and learn how to flow with it, silence softens you into surrender. You begin realizing you don't have to fight for what is meant for you. You don't have to chase alignment. You don't have to beg destiny. You don't have to earn divine guidance. You align with it by being still enough to receive it. Swami Radha said, "Surrender is the door through which grace enters." And your silence is your surrender. Your willingness to stop pushing. Your willingness to trust timing. Your willingness to let life lead for once. Your willingness to believe that destiny is not late, it is precise. This surrender is the final movement before your breakthrough arrives. Because spiritual breakthroughs require courage, but they also require softness. They require awareness, but they also require trust. They require strength, but they also require surrender. And the silence is shaping you into the person who can receive what is already forming around you. The 11th reason life becomes silent is because you are being spiritually rewired. Your old emotional patterns, your old responses, your old defense mechanisms, your old attachments, your old fears, your old illusions, all of them are dissolving in this quiet. You may feel different lately, strangely calm, strangely detached, strangely clear, strangely peaceful in ways that do not match your circumstances. This is the inner shift. This is the preparation for the outer shift. This is the deep spiritual restructuring that happens right before major change. Silence is rewiring your heart. Silence is rewiring your intuition. Silence is rewiring your self-worth. Silence is rewiring your destiny. And you may not see the full picture yet, but something in you knows you are not the same. Something in you has been touched by grace. Something in you is awakening. Something in you is rising. This is the 12th reason your life grows silent. Your spirit is stepping into its expansion, quietly, gracefully, powerfully. And the world has not seen the new you yet, but it will. Because silence is not your ending. Silence is your doorway. Silence is your ascension. Silence is your preparation for revelation. A breakthrough is already on its way to you. And the silence you are standing in right now is the universe clearing a straight path for it. There comes a moment in the spiritual journey where silence stops feeling like emptiness and begins feeling like a sanctuary. You no longer tremble inside it. You no longer fear it. You no longer interpret it as abandonment. You begin to recognize it as the divine's most intimate language. This is the shift that changes everything. When you finally understand that silence is not the absence of guidance, it is the presence of a deeper guidance than you have ever known. A guidance that speaks to your soul, not your fears. A guidance that whispers rather than warns. A guidance that teaches rather than terrifies. You realize that your life went silent because you finally became ready to hear what noise kept you from hearing. And the first message that rises inside this silence is always the same. You are being prepared. Prepared to rise. Prepared to love in a new way. Prepared to walk a path only your soul can walk. Prepared to meet a destiny that has been waiting for you to awaken enough to claim it. Because breakthroughs do not come when the world around you becomes louder. They come when your inner world becomes clear. And clarity is only born in quiet. This is why the universe dims the volume of your old life before it reveals the new one. It is not punishing you. It is not withholding from you. It is shaping you for what your spirit has prayed for, often without words. In silence, your intuition becomes sharper. Your awareness becomes deeper. Your strength becomes softer, more stable, more internal. Your perception shifts from survival to alignment. And suddenly, you begin to notice things you didn't see before. You notice how your body responds to truth. You notice how your spirit reacts to misalignment. You notice how your heart opens or contracts around certain people. You notice the subtle invitations life has been sending you for months, maybe years. This heightened sensitivity is not fragility. It is your awakening. It is the first sign that the breakthrough is no longer coming. It has already begun. You start to feel strangely peaceful, even though nothing in your external life has changed. You start to feel lighter, even though you're still carrying responsibilities. You start to feel hopeful, even if you can't articulate why. You start to feel guided, as if some invisible hand is gently leading you into your next season. That is not imagination. That is not coincidence. That is not wishful thinking. That is alignment. And silence is the cradle of alignment. The second message that comes through the quiet is this: your old self is leaving, not all at once, not violently, not painfully, but naturally, like winter melting into spring, like darkness fading before dawn, like a story whose final chapter has already been written. You begin noticing the soft, subtle signs. You cannot betray yourself anymore, even a little. You cannot force conversations that drain your soul. You cannot remain in rooms where your spirit dims. You cannot hold onto relationships that feel heavy, unclear, unrooted. You cannot go back to who you were, because the version of you that once tolerated these things does not exist anymore. This dissolution of your old self can feel like confusion, numbness, emotional distance, or even disorientation, but it is not brokenness. It is rebirth. Swami Radha said, "Your true self is revealed not through noise, but through the quiet unraveling of all that is not you." Your unraveling is happening right now, and the silence you're sitting in is its sacred guide. The third message hidden inside silence is this: your destiny is aligning faster than you think. You may not see evidence yet. You may not have the clarity yet. You may not know the how or when. You may not feel ready. But destiny is not something you chase. Destiny is something you grow into, and you are growing. Every moment of silence has been preparing you. Every closed door has been protecting you. Every delayed answer has been refining you. Every lonely night has been strengthening you. Every quiet morning has been guiding you. Because the universe does not operate on your timing. It operates on your readiness. And the silence is the proof of your readiness. It means the ground beneath your spirit is being cleared. It means the old structures are dissolving. It means the new chapter is forming. It means the path is opening. It means you are being moved, even when it feels like nothing is happening. Silence is the final stage before manifestation. It is the pause before the turning of the page. It is the inhale before the divine exhale, and that exhale is coming. The fourth message of this silence is this: you are being called to trust, not blindly, not desperately, not passively, but deeply. Trust that the universe is not late. Trust that your soul is not lost. Trust that your destiny has not forgotten you. Trust that this quiet is meaningful. Trust that something in you is being rearranged in ways you can't yet see. Trust that the next chapter of your life will not resemble the silence that prepared you for it. Trust that this is your awakening. Because the moment you stop fearing silence, the universe stops whispering and begins revealing. Your breakthrough is not ahead of you. It is unfolding within you, right now. And when it surfaces fully, you will look back on this silent season and understand the truth. Nothing was taken from you. Nothing was lost. Nothing was delayed. You were being transformed. You were being guided. You were being aligned. You were being protected. You were being strengthened. You were being prepared. And when your destiny arrives, quietly, gracefully, unmistakably, you will know why everything had to go silent first. The silence was not an ending. It was the initiation. It was the womb. It was the doorway. It was the sacred clearing where your new reality was born. You are not in the dark. You are in the dawn, just moments before the light returns. Take a breath. Feel the quiet around you. Feel the quiet within you. This is the sound of your next chapter beginning. And when you are ready to step into it, the universe will speak again.